Hello, folks. Today I'm going to show you how to do the Bohr model practice of the atom. So what we're doing is identifying the number of electrons and arranging them correctly on a model of an atom. Write in the total number of electrons present for that element. For oxygen, that number is 8. It's the atomic number from the periodic table. Then we're going to fill the first orbit with up to 2 electrons. As we get started, I like to make all of the electrons and leave them down the bottom so that I know when I've reached the total number. To do that, I'm going to use the little circle tool. Okay, I like to color it in so that they're easier to notice. And then you can duplicate that using the 3 dots, or you can copy and paste to get more electrons. Once you have 8, you're ready to start. Okay, fill the first orbit with up to 2 electrons. So I'm going to drag 2 of my electrons. I put the first one at the top, and then there's only room for one more. That second one is going to pair up with the first. Now my first energy level, or first orbit, is full. Next, I need to fill the second orbit with unpaired electrons. It tells me I can do that with up to 4. I'm going to put my first one at the top. Since it says to put them unpaired, I'm not going to put the second one next to the first. I'm going to put it over on the side. Okay, then one on the bottom, and then one on the other side. So I completed the first step and the second step. Now, add pairs to the electrons in the second orbit. That'll use up to 4 more. So I pair the one at the top. I pair the one at the side. And now I'm all out. Let's do another example. For magnesium, the atomic number from the periodic table is 12. And so I count up 12 electrons. I wrote the number 12. I made 12 electrons. You can use the pen tool to make your electrons if you wish, but they're a little harder to see, so I don't recommend that. But if the dots give you trouble, you can use that as a backup plan. All right, I'm going to fill my first orbit with up to 2 electrons. Again, I put the first one at the top, and then the last one in there pairs up with it. That's a full first orbit. The second orbit, the second energy level, I'm going to place 4 unpaired electrons around. So just like before, I do top, right side, bottom, and left side. And again, I make sure I'm staying in that second energy level. Add pairs to the electrons in the second orbit. This is going to use up to 4 more electrons. So the next 4 that I do are going to go right into the second orbit, making pairs for the 4 I just did. Notice how this looks exactly the same as it did at 6 electrons on the previous atom. It's always going to look the same at each number, and then as you add more, where you stop gives you the difference. So here I am pairing up those electrons at the top, at the side, at the bottom, and at the other side. So this is what it looks like when I've reached 10 electrons. But I have 2 more left. There's a third orbit for atoms with more than 10 electrons. But I follow the same process over again. Fill the third orbit with unpaired electrons first. So I put an unpaired electron at the top, an unpaired electron at the side, and I'm out. The outermost level has 2 electrons. So I would say the valence number is 2. The inner shells are full, and then the outer shell has 1, 2 electrons. Valence just means whatever number's on the outside. So our valence number for magnesium is 2 electrons are in the outer level. Let's compare that back with our first example. For oxygen, the second energy level was the valence. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons. Okay, these 2 examples will be done for you in your practice set. Then you're going to want to do some more. So for neon, you see how it ended up. For carbon and for hydrogen, you're going to look up the atomic number. You're going to make your little electrons and you're going to lay them out. Same for sodium and silicon. On the last slide, you need to create a diagram to work on. For the nucleus, you can represent that just with the atomic symbol Ne for neon. Oops, there we go. And then you're going to use the circle tool. Make sure you set it to transparent and draw each orbit. When I looked at neon, it had 10 electrons. It's in period 2, the second row of the periodic table, so I know it's going to have 2 orbits. Put them there, arrange them nicely. Okay, and again, you want to make sure they're transparent or else it'll cover up the inner one. Now you're going to make your electrons just like last time and apply them. And the same thing for sulfur. Now, before you go, I just want to remind you that we have been working on this together in class. So if it seems overwhelming, if this is the first time you're seeing it, that's okay. You can absolutely get extra help from me during the extra help time from 10:30 to 11:45 any day with this, okay? But we have been working on it in class. So if it seems totally brand new to you, let that kind of encourage you to come to class with us every day, okay? Because we work on things together. We learn about information, but we're almost always putting it into practice every day to make sure that you know what you're doing and that you can earn all the points and learn all the information and gain all the skills and experience of the asynchronous work with confidence. So please, if you have been attending class every day, then you know this, okay? If you haven't, the second marking period is the right time for that. So absolutely start coming to class with us, please. Okay, give this a try over the weekend. If you need help, turn in what you have. You can actually make little sticky notes on there and leave some comments for me. That would be a way to say, like, I think I did this right, or I don't understand the pairing part, but I tried. That's fine. Turn in what you have, and then we'll catch up in extra help to go over it, okay? Tomorrow in class, we're going to review what we've seen about valence and the Bohr model, and we're going to be starting the next thing. So get this done this weekend, get it into me, okay? And then be ready to pick up with me on Monday. Thanks, folks. Have a great weekend.